Just want to thank you for watching Behind the Scenes of Today with Pastor Jay. My very wonderful guest is Commissioner Joe Mullins. We're going to talk about 2021, this year in review, what he thinks and what he believes, and plus what's coming up, what the county commissioner has been doing. Oh, I got to reveal to the world his new title. Ha, ha, ha. What I'm going to be calling him for the next year. Y'all going to be mad at me, maybe not. But it's going to be fun. It's all in jest and it's all in fun. And we're just going to see what he has going on. It's been a good little minute. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited. Let's see what you have to say. You over there on that one or you on this one? I got to get you. Doesn't matter.
And I'm going to come in and...
what you going to do?
Let's see if I can get some sound.
You don't know. Oh, don't we need some, I need at least one song down the road, whichever one. Ooh,
yeah, let's play testing. I can't hear myself.
Goodness gracious.
Testing. I can't hear myself. There we go. Oh, I had the wrong one. Sorry.
About to blow my ear.
Well, that's the one I normally use.
Well, this one right here controls all.
Okay.
It
does?
Yes. The one on the end controls all of them all at one time.
All right.
We need some, what we need? What's the New Year song?
I don't know.
That's it.
What
Thank
is it?
you. That's it. That's the one. I just need that when we close out. Let him get that. Look at you.
I'm trying to look good. Trying to look like my Flagler first.
Let's see. Did you find me so you could share it?
I did, and it's shared. And we're live.
Let's see if we can get that somewhere. That's fine. We can start at the beginning of that because I can use that as my closing because that gives me a couple of minutes or whatever. All right. I'm ready whenever you are. We'll go right in.
All right.
You are now.
He comes and mess up my show. All right, we're ready.
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF NewsRadio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Jerlyn Denny.
Good morning, and I'm excited to have my guest here. And he's not going to take over my show, although he does come on my show occasionally. Every now and then he tries to take over because you have that other show, live, shop, play, work, eat, poop.
Drink. Yeah, go to the bathroom, go to church.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. You're starting to be like me now.
Oh, my goodness. You're here just for 30 seconds and you rubbed off on me just that little bit. Oh, my goodness. So if you don't recognize his voice, it is Commissioner Joe Mullins. Joe Mullins from Mullins Group Company.
The Joe Mullins Companies.
The Joe Mullins Companies. You've got so many.
It is. It's a lot of businesses, a lot of things. The sports and entertainment side has never been as busier.
You've been busy with that.
Really have. We've been all over, and you've got to attend a few with me. You can see they're wonderful events. They treat the corporate people very well.
So what do you do exactly on the entertainment
We entertain
side?
Corporate clients, corporate hospitality, corporate clients, companies, large companies like similar to Mercedes, Coca-Cola, companies like that. We bring them into events. And they bring their high-end customers or their distributors, and they come to the events and they actually see it and entertain them at those events. And you've got to see a couple of really fun ones.
Yeah, my daughter, we took her to a basketball game here recently.
Yeah, that was great. My son went and got to see these and those guys are tall. When you look down on them, they don't look that tall. But when you walk across the
Joe, you're short.
The court,
you're not basketball height.
I came up to their knees.
You're not basketball. You're not really short, but you're not basketball height.
No,
they are. They're large,
are
though.
They really are. They're like.
Kind of
can you imagine seeing them about 3,000 years ago in some kind of setting playing? It would be like, oh my God, they're giants everywhere.
Good point. Never thought about that.
Yeah, they're really. It's
so
impressive.
Let's talk about 2021. This is the last show we're going to have before the new year. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
It is.
So what's been going on in Flagler County for 21? First, wait, I have to make the announcement.
Uh-oh.
I have to do the announcement because Commissioner Joe Mullins is now the Emperor of Flagler County. That's the title I've given
I thought
you.
it was Emperor Chairman of Flagler County.
Oh, well, it's possibly. Well, you are the chair of the county commission.
Yeah,
How did that come about? Last year, you said, no, I don't want to do it.
That was coupled right after I lost my brother, and I had a lot of personal things going on. So I wanted to take a little time, and I also was working on some big projects that we're seeing unfold right now.
Okay.
Some major projects through 2021 that came out, and I knew I'd be very busy with them. And being chair is very committed. It's being here, not leaving the county. So it's been a challenge for me because I do have a lot of work that goes outside the county with my sports and entertainment, and then all my real estate that I own in Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina. So it makes it challenging, but as many people have found out and know with me, I have a tremendous amount of energy, I will be at all of them. I try not to let anything impact me to where I can't be there. Even if I can only show up for a little bit, I show up. I believe in showing up. Somebody said, "Oh, you don't stay very long." I said, "Opposed to who? Anybody else not showing up at all?"
Good
I
point.
said,
I
do
thought
show
about
up.
that. You do
so
show up.
I have
May
to
not
show
stay
up.
all
I
the
can't
time.
stay very long at a lot of them because there is such a commitment. How do you run into it, Pastor Jay? How do you tell one person no and the other person you tell yes, and you show up without offending them? Because each event is just as important. I don't care if it's a child's birthday party and they want me to come by in the Ferrari or something and wave to them, or it's a retirement of an employee or a big event for charities.
I must admit, you are bouncing around. You go and you try to wave and you say hi. You take
I do
a couple
enjoy
of pictures and then you
I do enjoy doing that stuff. I enjoy communicating with people. It just feels good because so many people in the community, even when I go to dinner, you and I've been to dinner so many times, they come up
Oh
and
my
want a
goodness.
picture.
I'm not
and-
even going to mention some of the places that you like to frequent because you go there all the time.
I know. I get on something. I eat it a lot.
A lot. I mean, I don't understand. You're a big bread eater too, and you're tiny.
Yeah. It's
That's
from
a compliment.
That moving,
That's a compliment.
That's okay. No, I understand it. Your husband's about my same size.
Yeah, he's
and
tiny too.
He's in great shape. He's to me, he's like a brother to me because when I see him, he's got that same energy. He's going all the time. And he is very blessed to have a wife like you.
I'm grateful to have him. I
you
really
guys
am.
really are a great couple together. And going to those sporting
I paid him to
events.
say that, guys. I paid him to say that.
I, that's the honest truth. Sinclair is a wonderful man, and he tolerates a lot. And I tell you what, don't mess with his wife. Don't mess with his family.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't get to see that side. He's nice and kind, but you start messing with his wife, he gets,
But you know what? One thing I'll say about you guys, y'all will be there at any time.
That is true.
He, especially him, he has been there every time. When I lost my brother last year, a lot of people sent condolences. It was incredible. The paper did a story, but what meant so much to me, and I'm thankful for all that, but what meant so much for me is my dear friends that went up there with me to stand by my side. I don't know that I'd have made it back. It was tough.
It was an
and
honor.
you were one of those.
It was an honor for he and I to go. But let's talk about. I mean, we talked about loss. You decided last year that you weren't going to be that you was going to step down and not do.
I said, give me another year and I'll think about it. And the guys, Commissioner Commissioner Sullivan and Commissioner O'Brien, both at the meeting, supported me and talked to me, and they just said, listen, we want you to do this. We think you'll be great. We want to fully support you. I didn't get the support from two others, but I didn't expect it from them. They go back and forth. And it really, the way they were acting was kind of silly. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do my best at anything I do.
Well, let's talk about what you have done. I've known you probably, I'm closer to you than most people in Flagler County. And I say that not to say that just to say that. It's because, you and I have had conversation and I start laughing and I'm like, Joe, really?
Well,
really?
Here's the thing I'll say too. A lot of people want to be close to me till they get to know me. And then they're like, you're a handful. You're a hot mess. So I appreciate the people that are close to me.
Oh, that's because I'm a hot mess, Joe. It takes one to know one.
I appreciate
let's just
the
be
people
real.
that can tolerate me.
But no, you're not bad. Not in that respect. But I can tell you this. All the things that you promised to do when you were running for county commissioner, you have done. Now, people may disagree with, your personality, your personal life, whatever. Yeah. People going to have problems with that. You can't please everyone. I know that.
I'm a 10-year recovering addict from drugs and alcohol. I'm very open about that. I didn't get there because I was mentally perfect. I got there because of some scratches, bruises, and some thinking that really got me in trouble or got me down a path that I shouldn't have gone. I'm not a perfect person. So personally, I'm not. But one thing I will say, if I commit to something, I'll die trying to do it.
Oh, that
I
is
just
true.
will
So
not play around
one of
with
the
that.
first things that you talked about was getting a new county administrator. Remember, you ran
Yeah.
on that. It
Yeah.
was like, oh, got to do something about the county administrator. Need to do something about the sheriff's operations center. I mean,
Yeah.
you ran on that, and how did that pan out?
Well, we didn't have, I knew we were having challenge getting enough votes because he had deep rooted himself in with Commissioner Hanson and Commissioner Charlie Erickson. Yeah, thank you. I was going to say I don't remember his name. He never really just kind of showed up at the meetings. Nice guy, but you know what? I just didn't know him that well. It wasn't very active. But they were very strongly behind him. They weren't going to get rid of him. They didn't want to see what was going on at the sheriff's office. So I just came in and I told him, I'm very public. I utilized the public to push him out. I utilized media. I utilized showing the backdoor deals that the prior commissioner had done to get, that was there before me, had done, and really exposed a lot of that. And I think that it was such an overwhelming mess that was coming out that he decided to resign before we got rid of him. And I don't know that we would have had the
about
votes.
Exposing. I saw some pictures, some things going on with the water up in.
Oh God, Plantation Bay was awful.
Goodness
Yeah, it was
gracious.
awful. It was just the things that they had done to help others at the
couldn't believe
taxpayers'
it.
expense.
I could not believe.
You know, I believe in transparency. I believe in bringing it out, and I brought it out to the public. They've never seen anything like this before. I keep
I'm
them
still
one-on-one
in
with
shock.
government. But I was also told by some of the other people in government, hey, you don't need to do this. You're embarrassing us, or
not
you're
just
putting
that.
us out
That's
there.
not your area. Stay
Right.
over there in your area. I've kind of heard that. So,
Yeah,
so how do
and-
you respond to that when people say, "Oh, that's not your area"? But this is all
Well,
of Flagler County.
Yeah, you're voted on by everybody in Flagler County. And not only that, when a person reaches out to me and says, hey, I can't get in touch with my commissioner, or I can't get a response, I'm not going to tell them no. I took this position to serve this community. I serve this county. The county lines run as far north, as far west, and as far east as the ocean, and as far south as Volusia, and I'm going to serve every bit of it. I'm not going to alienate any part of it. I own properties in all different of those districts, so they're very much concerning for me. So I just want to be the best that I can be and work as hard as I can and deliver on the promises. I made a lot of promises in the beginning.
You did.
And I was really concerned with what I walked into, if we were ever going to be able to bring any. And getting Mr. Cameron was I got to say, Commissioner Sullivan reaching and grabbing him out of retirement was a godsend to us.
He did an excellent job.
An excellent job.
really
and
did.
and we were able to accomplish a lot of things. We just last week were recognized nationally out of 4 counties in the country. We were recognized taking the COVID money, which I'm not a big fan of taking any of this government money, because I think it's our money. They're taxing us to death. But if we don't take it, someone else will. Another county will. So I'm going to be up there fighting for it as hard as I can. And I'm on a lot of federal committees. We got it, and we were recognized as the one county that's 100% officially applying its COVID relief money to infrastructure through the community.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. Okay. All right. You ready? Let's go.
I'll
back.
share that email with you too.
Okay.
It's pretty impressive.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. And now this is just me calling him this. Don't be mad. I'm calling him the Emperor of Flagler County. I call him the Emperor of Flagler County because he has such a larger than life personality. And I guess it just feeds your ego, Joe. I probably shouldn't call you that.
I don't know that it feeds my ego. You know, if people that really know me know I don't really have an ego.
It's just funny. It's just funny. You don't.
I joke around. But when ego-wise, I love people, and I love cutting up, and I love joking, but I would never treat anyone less than.
I think I probably started calling you that because and Lord forgive me, it's probably because it rubs people the wrong way. I probably shouldn't call you the Emperor anymore.
I don't care.
You
It
don't
doesn't matter
care?
to me.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't
okay.
matter.
Okay. Well, your haters are gonna
I
hate
will
no
say
matter
this.
what.
I'll
But
say
let's
this.
talk
If we can't have fun doing what we're doing,
something's wrong.
then we
gotta
shouldn't be
able
doing
to
it.
laugh.
I'm going to laugh.
All
I'm
right.
going to enjoy
So before the
myself.
break, you said we are one of 4 counties in the nation.
In the nation, we were actually they
That
were
was recognized.
No, they were recognized for things they've done.
Mm-hmm.
This county was the one and only that was recognized for how it's applying its COVID funds to its infrastructure and utilizing it through its community 100%.
Wow.
We are the model county. I promised we were going to be a model county.
You did.
And we are a
Another
model
thing
county.
that you promised that I want to talk about as well is that you were going to bring in, go ahead and say it.
Broadband.
Broadband. You said it. You
Yeah.
said that, and everybody was like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, we
but that
started
was
a task
promise.
force.
That was a promise you made when you first came on board. You're going to bring broadband.
We did. I did. And we started a task force. We worked on it hard a year and a half. We partnered with Charter just recently, made a major announcement that we will have all of Flagler County covered within the next 12 to 24 months. It will be 100% covered with broadband that helps our kids. It helps our community leisure, helps public safety. It's just, you got to have
When
it.
you think about broadband and what happened with COVID during 2020 and parts of 2021, and students were home, weren't able to have internet, weren't able to log in and for their instruction. It was horrible,
It really
especially out
was.
in areas in the county where they didn't have any internet, which I
really
didn't even
was.
realize that.
Yeah.
And the school was issuing like hotspots that sometimes worked, sometimes didn't work. It was horrific. I can't imagine what it would have been like then had we had the broadband.
We're gonna have equal services throughout this whole county. I don't believe that one group should have anything that another. The mosquito spray is another example. East County mosquito spray, whatever they are today, they want to provide services to the people all in the city part and in the east part, but they don't want to provide them to the west. They go, oh, they need to call when they need it. That's not. Can you imagine having to call every time you need a service?
Yeah, well, how long does it take them to come? Once you do that?
They don't. They don't. And they put it off and say, oh, we need a certain amount of number. You need to make these services equal to everybody. Everybody should have equal services.
I agree.
There's not
Of
one
course,
group
I believe that
should not have equal services.
Let's talk about the roads, though, because that was another issue in your area that there was complaint about roads. Where are we doing with roads?
We've paved. When I came in, I looked at what we were spending over there, and we were spending roughly around $200,000 a year and collecting about 300 and something. And then, that's on the roads, and then the ditches, they were spending another 100. So they were spending just about it or a little bit more. When I took office, we went up to immediately to 700,000 when we collect 300,000. The next year we went to 750,000
Gotcha.
dollars. We were spending over there. And this year we've spent about 8. But now what we've done is gotten major federal grants, and we have applied them, and we're doing more road stuff. So we're bringing back, people go, oh, Joe gets his free money. It's not free money. It's our tax money we've paid for many years, and our grandparents have paid and people have paid. I just go up and fight for it on these committees I'm on. And I always say, let's make Flagler the model
Let's
county.
talk about these committees, because I see you in Washington, D.C. all the time.
Yeah.
You're always in Washington, D.C., and people poke and go, oh, there go Joe. He's in Washington, D.C. But you've made some inroads for Flagler County. People know who Flagler County is.
They really do. I'm on the Economic and Workforce Development Board. I also am on the Broadband Board for National Association of Counties. I'm on the Rural Board for Rural Counties for National Association. I'm also on their membership. They said, God, you're great at recruiting people if you tell your story. So they got me on membership. Statewide, I'm on statewide rural, and then I'm on statewide federal policy, and then I'm on statewide membership as well. So and then regionally, I'm on a few committees. They just keep
you're
putting
doing
me
all
on
of
these.
that.
I am. But I want to, because I've got to be at the table to be
You
able
know
to
what
get
I say?
Flagler.
If you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Right, and I love to eat at the table, so I'm going to go up and
That's true.
feast.
That's
I'm
true.
going to feast on
You're
what
going to get
we're
everything
serving.
that you can get. And you've
Everything
done a
they're serving.
phenomenal job. You brought quite a bit here to Flagler County that people don't even realize and don't know about. So what's next?
What's next is mental health. That's the big announcement
is
coming
a
in
big,
January.
huge thing.
We've partnered and we're opening up our first mental health drop-in facility. I've got a big surprise for the county. I may have a massive treatment center coming here, and very soon announcement. That's just a hint.
Okay.
A big treatment center for drugs and alcohol.
So how are you balancing county stuff with business stuff?
It's tough, but at the same time, you've seen me do both. My business is dealing with corporations and entities like this, so I tell them about Flagler.
People will go, "Oh, Joe's making money off the county." No.
I actually lose about $180,000 a month doing this. But, the big thing is I know our future depends on it. I know this county needs it. I know my kids need it. And you know what? I made good money, so I'm not trying to make money like I used to anymore. What I'm trying to do is make an impact and save our community, save our country, and just be
Let's
here.
talk about your kids for a moment, because I've noticed, being so close to you, the shift, and you just kind of being like, hands off to really a huge hands-on dad. Over the last few years, I've noticed that you've increased your time with your children, taking them on more trips. You've co-parenting. This is just my opinion now. You are co-parenting at a higher level than what you were before.
Divorce is hard. It's hard on anyone. And God didn't mean for divorce to be easy or everybody be getting it. We'd be married 40 times. So divorce is hard. Having kids when you divorce is even harder. And you become very emotional. And I married very emotional, strong women. They were strong, loving women, and they loved their families, they loved their kids, and they wanted to keep family unity. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do that in my first marriage. Addiction played a big part on my side, and I had to really grow up a lot and realize it wasn't about the amount of time I spend with my kids; it was the quality of time.
Absolutely.
And somehow, when you
I'm experiencing that a lot
crazy?
now. Yeah.
When you spend quality time, somehow the amount of time increases. It's
does.
unreal. They start flocking to you.
Yeah.
I got my son begging to move down with me now, and I told him, I said, let's talk to your mom. And the old me would have tried to work that behind the scenes, but I called her up. We're talking, and she's talking about coming down, and we're co-parenting together. That is so important. And she and I had a rough start. We had a really rough start. You saw it in the first campaign.
Yeah.
And she's a wonderful person. She's a wonderful mother. She has her challenges. We're all human. But you know what? I want her to succeed.
So tell me, how are you handling this teenage daughter? How do you get through that? What the boys are calling?
I call you a lot.
You do call me a lot. She's a hottie.
Yeah, she is. She's loving, but she has a lot of her mother in her. She's got the good side of her mother and her father in her.
Oh, that's
Let
good.
me say
She's
that.
a sweetheart.
She's
She
a
really
combination of our good side, but she is very well mannered. She loves it. I'm shocked how well she takes the public attacks at me, the liberals and the different ones, the enemies, so to say. She just bounces off with them.
She does.
Because she knows who I am. She knows
It makes a difference. It makes a difference when your family and the people that are close to you know who you are. And I guess that's why you and I still joke. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Real quickly before we take a break, let's talk a little bit about loss, because you just lost someone very close to you, Lee Elder.
I did.
And I know that hit you. I remember calling you and asking if you're okay. And of course, you responded in a joke by telling me I'm your new Lee Elder, and your mom. But how are you? I know just a few years ago, and up till now, and even just last year, you've had a lot of loss. But you're handling it better now. Is that just a level of maturity?
I am. The first time when I lost my mom, that was the hardest hit I think I've had in my life. When I lost my brother, I didn't realize what it was. You kept telling me, and others kept telling me, Joe, you're hurt, and you're hurt bad. And I just was running so fast, I didn't notice it. I went down to about 150 pounds. I was very short-tempered. I snapped at a couple other commissioners, which has made the story, but I didn't care. I wanted to get this hurt out.
Right.
I got it out, and I processed it, and I realized my brother is there with me. I realize he's there with me. When I lost Lee, it hit me hard. I lost Lee on the same day I lost my mother.
I remember.
And Lee was a special person to me for two reasons. One, he was like a dad. He went through a lot of growing up with me, and he walked in one time and said, Joe, if you don't get this together, and you don't get away from this party, and when I come next year, it's gonna be to your funeral.
Right.
And it hit me hard that he said that. And then he also stood by me when they typically did the race thing, and you're a white guy running, they said you're a racist. Lee stood up and said, Joe Mullins is anything but a racist. He said he is not a racist.
Yeah, I've heard that a couple of
Lee's-
times. And I'm
Lee's a
laughing.
great guy,
I'm going,
except for that.
yeah, no, not Joe.
Well, when you get Lee Elder, a guy who lived it,
Right.
I mean, the guy lived it. You know the stories he had. It's amazing, but it hurt losing Lee. Lee was a great guy. You learn when you travel with these guys. I lost Junior Seau to suicide. I lost Lee Elder to old age. And heart failure. When you travel with these guys and live your life with them, it takes some. It's like I do with you.
Mm-hmm.
I would miss you dearly if something happened to you tomorrow. You know, I would miss you dearly because I'm
not
used to
going
having you
to-
in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm used to having an anchor. And I'll call you, and even if I can't get you, I'll go, okay, what would Pastor Jay say? And I'll go,
You did that this morning.
I did it this morning.
You text me at 5-something when are you awake?
Yeah, because you remind me, one thing you remind me very early, we're getting ready for campaign season, and I call it silly season. And you reminded me on my first campaign, Joe, you had a lot of stuff coming at you, but you stayed on task.
Yep.
You stayed on focus.
Just stay focused.
And you go,
Stay
now you've got a
focused.
tremendous resume, a lot of things you've done.
You've done it.
One of the
Before you were
biggest
talking about
announcements-
what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Now you can talk about what you have done.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And the
There
worst
really
thing
is a
you can
difference.
do is get in that Facebook drama that they're,
Don't
it's like
even
high
do-
school.
Well, you know
It's
what I
like high
say? You
school.
know what I say? Because people talk about me all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to use my advice. You know, I'm amazing. If I was them, I'd talk about me too. So let me, look, you got to just catch that attitude. On that note, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. And then you start listing all your accolades. Of course, I go, goodness and mercy follows me all the days of my life, and
Yeah.
I should dwell in the house of the Lord. What's there not to talk about? Come on. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm anointed and appointed for this time. God has given me supernatural favor. Yes, I will talk about me too.
Isn't it amazing when you're doing what God wants you to do?
Oh, it's
you
such
know the
peaceful.
difference. I
It's
told somebody the
peaceful.
other day.
It is peaceful.
Pain and pleasure rules us.
Yeah.
And pain when God uses pain, he's trying to get you back on track. And when he uses pleasure, because God's will is not a
It
painful
is.
way.
No.
It's just we deviate so much.
It's a peaceful
It really
thing.
is.
And when you operate in what he calls you to
And
do,
you get
it's
supernatural
easy.
strength.
It's easy though.
Yeah.
It really is, because he gives you the grace. He gives you the supernatural strength. He gives you the endurance. That's why you're able to bounce around and do the things that you do. Mark, how much time do we have left? 2 minutes. All right. So I'm going to thank my sponsors coming in. Then you've got 2 minutes to talk about what you want to talk about. And then we'll close out. And we'll
2022.
close out with the whatever we're going to do. Okay. Give a shout out and a thank you to 500bankruptcy.com and thefloridamortgagecenter.com. Thank you for sponsoring Today with Pastor Jay. All right, so 2022 is coming up, and remember, don't forget, you're amazing. If you were them, they talk about you too.
Yeah.
What's there not to talk about? Look at your list of accolades and what you have done. People coming in, I don't know who's going to jump in the race or how many going to get in the race, but they're going to have to talk about what they want to do. You can just sit there and talk about what you have done.
My thing, somebody asked me the other day, and I said, I really don't know who's running against me. I don't care.
Just run against yourself.
I know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know what I'm going to do.
Man.
I'm going to continue to do what I've done.
Let's talk about when you were running last time. I laughed so hard. It was just so funny. You had me. I was in stitches laughing because you and I are a lot alike.
I'll joke and pick on people and cut up, but they're not going to get to me.
I wasn't talking about that. I mean, because you think outside the box, right? So, employment was challenging and hard for a lot of people. You went and got a bunch of homeless people, gave them a shirt and a sign and some lunch and a paycheck.
Yeah, well,
and I'm not mad at you for that, because I would do that.
There's some people that say, "Oh, he's buying the election." Well, listen, I'm investing. It's my money. I can spend it the way I want to. I don't take money from others. I'm paying people. I don't want people to work for free.
Listen,
I want people. I am pushing jobs. Is it bad that I'm bringing jobs to the community?
Listen, I think it's amazing. I think last year during the 2020 election and everything that was going on, I called you up and I said, I need help at some poll. What'd you do? You found me some people.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. You hired some people to and work at the precincts.
There's a lot of people that want to work for free, and I'll tell them that's fine. I'll try to offer them money. If they don't want to take it, that's fine. I'm not going to force them, and I'm not going to cut them out. But if I can give them a little money and help them out, God was very good to me by giving me a lot of successful businesses.
Yes.
And I want to be able to spread that. If I die with all the money that I've made, I'm not going to be able to take it with me. You can't take it with you. So it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do that. And for these people that say, oh, you shouldn't spend that, there's elections that you've got to invest.
Well, you're
and
investing
I
in your
invested
community.
in this community.
You invested in the community. And you invested in the people. And for that, we're grateful.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
And you know when it pays me back? When a mother comes to me and says, my son's going to stay here now because you've brought jobs here for him to stay. One of the biggest announcements we have ever seen. We now have a hospital coming here, bringing hundreds and hundreds of high-paying jobs. It's going to be coming here, a brand new hospital, bringing services we've never had in Flagler County. Flagler Hospital out of St. Augustine is coming here, building a multi-level 100 and something bed hospital, 150 bed hospital approximately. And they're going to bring suicide services, labor and delivery, stuff that we have never seen in our county before.
Well, that's super special.
High-paying jobs.
Well, thank you so very much. And I appreciate you coming on my show. And I'm looking forward to 2022. And you know what I say? Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Today, you're going to realize that you don't need to make a list of things you're going to do. You need to put one thing at the top of your list, and that's Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.
Amen.
If you would put him first, if you would seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all these things will be added unto you. That's what the word says, and that's so important. So as you're going forth in the new year, remember, listen, it only takes one thing. And that's what did it for you, Joe.
Yeah.
That's what did it for you. That's how you were able to
good friends
defeat recovery.
You got to be around good people that lead you right.
That's right.
And that's been the key to me is I've got a really good base of people around
Amen.
me.
Well,
And
God
you're one
bless
of
you
them.
guys. Hey, we got to do it. Got to do it. Have a wonderful, wonderful new year. And remember to keep listening to Today with Pastor Jay on Sunday mornings, and also Live, Shop, Play, Work.
Live, Shop, Work, Play, Saturday, 9:30 a.m. And Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year. God bless you.